Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, I'm here today to talk about another book, and of course, it's a Colleen Hoover book. I feel a little shy today because I've changed the location. I'm in my hall today, and yeah, the book I'm going to be talking about is not actually a favorite book of mine. It's more of a I just read it anyway kind of situation because it was not fun, and I felt like the book could have been better, but it wasn't. But there was a story, and there was a plot, and there was twists. So, ta-da! Confessed by Colleen Hoover. I've heard people say that this book is underrated, and I don't think so because it's not actually that good. Then again, it had a lot of potential. The storyline was super nice, and the characters, even though they were not it was good in some way or the other. Basically, this book revolves around a girl called Auburn, and she is this girl who's like going through a lot. She has debts, and she has to get a lawyer, and to pay the lawyer fee, the fate was on her side. She sees an opening for a job, and that was into this Dallas art studio. They were hiring almost immediately, and she went in. She got the job. I think it was for a day or something, and she was going to get paid highly, and for some reason that kind of creeped me out. Like, why is she going to be paid so highly for I don't know, it was like a walk-in kind of situation. I don't know, he probably was desperate, but that's okay. And the guy, his name was like Owen. They kind of have this insta connection kind of situation. It was just not it, if you know what I mean. It was not giving what it was supposed to give. And I don't know, his initials are OMG, and I just found it super cringe. Like, so what? It's nothing to like talk about kind of situation. It was just there, so I was like, okay, fine. And the best part about this book was the situation where, like, now the book is called Confess, and it revolves around confessions. And I think that was the most beautiful part about the book, how these confessions that were in the book was used as ideas for making art, and the artist being Owen. And I think that was the most beautiful part of the book, and how they used confessions and art together was just another level of creativity, because like that was super cool. And I was just super intrigued by that, and I felt like that this book was just gonna rock my world. It was gonna be it. But I felt like the glamour of the book ended with the confessions part, because like as soon as it got into the story, I felt like the story didn't have much to do with the confessions part, and that made me kind of sad, because like I thought there was gonna be something super cool in the book, but it wasn't it. He looks exact when I wouldn't want to talk to kind of situation. Like, okay, I don't know, he was like kind of giving a little pick me energy. Like, I don't know, he was just not it. Auburn, she was not it either. I don't know, I just didn't enjoy both of the characters, but it was a nice story, and it was not giving. I think I spent most of the time on like hating Lydia and Trent so much that I forgot how bad of a romance this book is. And if I was to rate it, I would only give the book about a 2.5 out of 5, because but like a lot of people look up to the book, so I don't know what to say. Then again, you can say a lot when I say my favorite book was Without Merit, which is an underrated book according to me. If my standards start with Without Merit, this book is probably like at the very lowest point kind of situation, because if this book was to be rewritten and added a lot of drama and this and that, I felt like it could be awesome, but it was not it. If there wasn't Lydia and Trent and just this being their romance, I don't know how it would be. Like, I don't know, there was this book just did not make sense. Like, the conflicts did not make sense, the storyline was not giving, but the story was good, the plot was good, but I felt like there was nothing in the book, that like nothing made sense. I felt like the book focused so much on fate and connections that the book forgot about the plot. The connection was almost predictable throughout the end. I was like, okay, stars align situation, but no, it felt like it was written. I felt like, of course it is written, but I felt like it was more tell and less show. These characters, they only like mingled for about like 7 or like 6 or like 8 times or maybe more, but like in my head it's less because I haven't seen them interact at all, and I couldn't find the romance between them. I just felt like they were like said to be in love. They were not actually in love, and I feel like they're the kind of couple who'd like get divorced in like 2 years or something, and he'd probably have connection with her children but not with her, because like they don't match and they don't stand out either. They're not characters I'm going to remember forever, because like after I read this book, it was fun and everything, but I had to look at the back and find the characters because I didn't know the name of the characters. They did not stay with me. I did not carry them around in life like I usually do. Even the book I hate, I remember the characters, but this book I just couldn't remember the characters because they were just not memorable enough. They did not they did not leave me with like anything positive to remember or even negative to remember. They were just these bland characters who were doing stuff for sake. I was super unhappy. The way I got permission to get this book despite the terrible cover, like I don't like covers with people on it, but somehow my mom let me get this book, and to be betrayed by this book with nothing in it, it was no, it's a no from me. But like I like the book actually. What am I supposed to compliment? I have no idea about. But we'll start with the artistic side. When it comes to the artistic side, I loved the paintings. The paintings were super beautiful and they're in the book. And I was like mesmerized by each of the paintings and the confessions. Even though they were like very gruesome and like thoughts we wouldn't say out loud kind of confessions, as confessions should be, I felt like the confessions were really cool and I felt a little human for the thoughts that I have in my head. So that was a very nice touch. And when it comes to the artist, he could have been better, and he was not it, and his past was not it. Nothing was it. And his... no, he wasn't it. And I'm sorry, but like I can't help but hate on Owen because he was just too bland for me, and there was nothing much going on, and I don't know like why he liked Auburn. That did not make sense to me, because like that wasn't it. Him hating on his ex, that wasn't like funny to me. I was like, okay, is this supposed to be some, I don't know that like it wasn't giving a conversation between them kind of moment. It was just like, okay, something to talk about. It was like a bland detail. Like I could have lived without the whole book. I could have lived without the whole book because there was actually nothing in it to like remember. But when we come to Auburn's situation and the situation she has within her life kind of situation, I felt like if she was paired with a much more better guy, because like we're talking about 2 guys in the book. There's Trent and then there's Owen, and both of them did not see Auburn as a human, something they wanted to protect from the whole world. She was more of like an object they wanted to own kind of situation. Not that I like Auburn in any way or form. I did not like Auburn. I did not like her character. She's not someone I would want to be friends with, or I don't think she'd be friends with me, but like that's not important. I feel like she's not the kind of character I'd want to like remember kind of situation. But like when we come to Trent, he was super scary, but I feel like at the beginning when I read about Trent, I almost liked him because I was just too focused on hating Owen that I was like, what if we give Trent a chance so I can be sad about her not ending up with Trent? But when I realized the connection between her and Trent, I was disgusted. So that's a no from me, because the book just gave me Lydia and Trent to hate on, and I wanted a solution to their problem as an Auburn's problem. I read the book, but otherwise I would have just kept I would have just kept it down. I would not have been able to read the book. And I hold this book also, I don't feel anything towards the book. It just feels like a book full of blank pages to me. I was just very hurt after reading this book, because like there was a nice plot that could have been used for the better, but it wasn't used. It wasn't executed properly. So the book was like, it didn't leave much for me to enjoy. but the problems Auburn had to face, I was very hurt by it, and I wanted to like, I wanted her to succeed, and I wanted her to, I don't know, I wanted her to be happier in life, and I didn't want her to end up with Owen. I feel like this is the first book I would have been happy with the girl not ending up with the guy, but she ended up with him, so it didn't make sense to me. And yeah, another book I didn't want the girl ending up with the guy was November 9, but this book isn't as gruesome as that book. That book was just horrid for me to read. This book was like, it was a very vanilla, not even vanilla at this point. It was a very calm and peaceful read, like, you know, that one show we just watch for sake because we are bored and we just watch it anyway. It's that kind of a book. We just read it and we just forget we ever read it. We could read it again and we would be like, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing this part, because like, it's, this book was not it. I was just so upset by getting this book. I wish I got some other book instead of this book. That's how much I regret getting this book and reading this book. Because like, I spent the whole day reading this book. I finished it in a day because like, I just wanted it to be over and like to stay far away from me, because I don't want to like associate myself with this book anymore. So I wasn't a fan of it. It was scary for me how something so precious to Auburn was taken away from her, and no one deserves to go through that. And when that happened to her, I just kept reading because I wanted her to get back what was rightfully hers. And when she did, the book ended and I was left with like a book that I finished reading, and with the urge to not read a book anymore. I heard that Confess, like as soon as I finished reading Confess, I was like, oh my god, it's nice. But the more I sat down to think about it, I was like, was it actually nice, or am I just telling myself that so I don't feel bad that I've spent so much time reading the book? But that's okay, I guess. Overall, this book, I wouldn't like recommend you to read it, but I feel like this is the kind of book some people might enjoy, so it's not that bad. But overall, I did not enjoy this book, and it was okay. It was nice, but this book just had a lot of potential, and I felt like it could have been a better story. It could have been an amazing story, and the cover is not it. And I found the other cover to the book too, I found another cover without the people on it kind of situation, and I didn't like that cover either, but the font just kept me going, so I was like, okay, we got this. But overall, I did not enjoy the book, and I felt like I could read something better than this. I could have put my time into reading something better, but I read it and I did not feel it. And the only thing that kept me sane was the beautiful art, and the art was amazing, so props to that. Otherwise, the book was not it. Even the confessions, they were amazing too, so that was nice as well, but the story was not it. Owen was not it. Auburn was not it. But I wanted Auburn to be happier and to stay far away from both of those men, because like, she could have almost like lost something super precious to her. If it wasn't for the plot twist, she could have lost something super precious to her only because she was associated with this man that was not even like worth fighting for. Because like, they didn't even interact that much for her to like be, oh my god, I can't live without this guy kind of situation. No, I feel like Miss Girl needs therapy, and after a good amount of therapy, she'll realize that she's been living with her eyes closed and that she deserves kind of better, and she needs to fix her personality a little bit. She needs to trust herself more, and I think she could do that when she starts living with what she lost. When she starts living with whatever she lost, she'll be a better person. She'll know what she's missing in life and she'll live accordingly. So overall, this book was not it, and I feel like there are so many people right now who are enjoying this book, so I don't know what to say to them. According to me, I would like not give this book another chance at all. I just like keep this away. I'd let myself read, I don't know. This is the second book that I disliked. First is Twisted Love, And no, this is the third book I disliked. The first book I disliked was Twisted Love, and the second book I disliked was November 9. But November 9 was fun to read because, like, there was something going on. Even though it was traumatic and terrible, there was something to read. But Confess did not have that at all. So, don't like you. But if y'all liked Confess and think that I'm missing something and I should just open my eyes and read it again, I will. So we'll talk about that in the near future. So till then, bye-bye. I'll come up with another book that I actually enjoyed for the next time. Bye.